Chapter 12. Samra and Magnus sittin' in a tree. Talking. As the crowds streamed out of the hall, I spotted Samra flying away. "Hey!" I shouted, but there was no way she could have heard me over the rowdy Einar jar. I pulled off my pendant, and summoned Jack. "Fly after Sam, will you? Tell her I need to talk to her." "I can do better than that," Jack said. "Hang on." "Whoa, you can carry me?" "For a short hop, yeah." "Why didn't you tell me that sooner? I totally mentioned it. Plus, it's in the owner's manual." "Jack, you don't have an owner's manual. Just hang on. Of course, once you put me back in pendant form, you'll feel like I've been carrying myself through the air, I guessed, and I'll pass out or whatever. Fine, let's go." There was nothing graceful about flying Jack air. I did not look like a superhero or a Valkyrie. I looked like a guy hanging from the hilt of a sword as it shot skyward, but my butt clenched, my legs swinging wildly. I lost a shoe somewhere over the 20th tier. I nearly fell to my death a couple of times. Otherwise, yeah, great experience. When we got within a few feet of Sam, I yelled, "On your left!" She turned, hovering in midair. "Magnus, what are you—" "Oh, hey, Jack. Sup, lion lady. Can we put down somewhere? This guy is heavy." We landed on the nearest branch. I told Sam about the goat assassin lurking in later, and she zipped off to alert the Valkyries. About 5 minutes later, she came back, just in time to cut short Jack's rendition of Hands to Myself. "That is disturbing," Jack said. "I know," I said. "Jack cannot sing Selena Gomez." "No, I mean the assassin," Sam said. "He's disappeared. We've got the entire hotel staff on alert, but—" She shrugged. "He's nowhere." "Can I finish my song now?" Jack asked. "No," Sam and I said. I almost told Jack to go into pendant form. Then I remembered that if I did, I would probably pass out for 12 hours. Sam settled on the branch next to me. Far below, the last of the dinner crowd was exiting the hall. My friends from floor 19, TJ, Mallory, and Halfborn, surrounded Alex Fierro and guided her along. From here, it was hard to tell if this was a congratulatory buddy kind of escort or a forced march to make sure she didn't kill anyone. Sam followed my gaze. "You've got doubts about her, you know." "I know. But she deserves to be here, Magnus. The way she died, I'm sure about her heroism. I'm as sure about her heroism as I was yours." Since I'd never been confident about my own heroism, Sam's comment didn't ease my mind. "How's your eye?" She touched the bruise. "It's nothing. Alex just freaked out. It took me a while to understand, but when you take someone's hand and lead them to Valhalla, you get a glimpse into their soul. Did that happen when you took me? With you, there wasn't much to see. It's very dark in there." "Good one," Jack said. "Is there a rune that would make both of you shut up?" I asked. "Anyway," Sam continued, "Alex was angry and scared. After I dropped her off, I started to realize why. She thought if she became an energy, she'd be stuck in one shape forever. She really hated that idea." "Ah," I said, which was short for "I get it, but I don't really get it." I'd been stuck my whole life. It never bothered me. Now I wondered how that would feel for Alex. The only analogy I could come up with wasn't a very good one. My second grade teacher, Miss Mangler, a.k.a. Miss Mangler, had forced me to write with my right hand, even though I was left-handed. She'd actually taped my left hand to the desk. My mom had exploded when she found out, but I still remembered the panicky feeling of being restrained, forced to write in such an unnatural way because Miss Mangler had insisted. "This is the normal way, Magnus. Stop complaining. You'll get used to it." Sam let out a sigh. "I'll admit, I don't have much experience with—" Jack leaped to attention in my hand. "Argers? Oh, they're great. One time, me and Frey—" "Jack," I said. His runes changed to a subdued magenta. "Fine. I'll just sit here like an inanimate object." That actually got a laugh out of Sam. She had uncovered her hair, as she often did in Valhalla. She told me that she considered the hotel her second home, and the Einerjar and Valkyries part of her family, so she didn't feel the need to wear the hijab there. Her dark locks spilled around her shoulders, and her green silk scarf hung around her neck, shimmering as it tried to activate its magical camouflage. This was a little unsettling, since every once in a while, Sam's shoulders and neck seemed to disappear. "Does Alex Fierro bother you?" I asked. "I mean, like, with you being religious and all?" Sam arched an eyebrow. "Being religious and all? A lot of things bother me about this place." She gestured around us. "I had to do some soul searching when I first realized my dad was, Loki. I still don't accept the idea the Norse gods are gods. They're just powerful beings. Some of them are my annoying relatives, but they're no more than creations of Allah, my only God. Just like you and I are." "You remember I'm atheist, right?" She snorted. "Sounds like the beginning of a joke, doesn't it? An atheist and a Muslim walk into a pagan afterlife. Anyway, Alex being an Arger is the least of my problems. I'm more worried about her connection to our father." She traced the lifeline on her palm. "Alex changes shapes so often. She doesn't realize how dangerous it is to rely on Loki's power. You can't give him any more of a hold than he already has." I frowned. Simra had told me something like this before, how she didn't like to shapeshift because she didn't want to become like her dad, but I didn't understand it. Personally, if I could shapeshift, I'd be turning into a polar bear like every 2 minutes and scaring the Shimmerneer out of people. What kind of hold are we talking about? She wouldn't meet my eyes. "Forget it. You didn't fly after me to talk about Alex Fiera, did you?" "True." I described what had happened on the battlefield. The dragon, the way Loki had invaded my head wearing an offensive tuxedo and invited me to a wedding. Then I told her about my dreams and how apparently this marriage just happened to be Sam's, to some bar-owning, walrus-voiced giant named Thrym, who served the worst-smelling pickles in Jotunheim. Some of this Jack hadn't heard yet either. Despite his promise to remain inanimate, he gasped and cried, "You're killing me!" at all the appropriate spots, and some of the inappropriate ones. When I was done, Sam stayed quiet. A waft of cold passed between us like a freon leak from an AC. Down below, the cleaning crew had moved in. Ravens picked up the plates and cups. Bands of wolves ate the leftover food and licked the floor clean. We were all about hygiene here in Valhalla. "I wanted to tell you," Sam said at last. "It all happened so quickly. It just came crashing down on me." She wiped a tear from her cheek. I'd never seen Sam cry. I wanted to console her, give her a hug, pat her hand or something. But Sam didn't do physical contact, even if I was part of her extended Valhalla family. "That's how Loki's messing with your personal life," I guessed. "He came to see your grandparents? Amir? He gave them invitations." Sam dug one out of her pocket and handed it across, gold cursive on a green cardstock, just like the one Loki had tucked into Uncle Randolph's pocket. "The incomparable Loki and some other people invite you to celebrate with them the marriage of Simra al-Babas bint Loki and Thrym, son of Thrym, son of Thrym. When? 5 days hence. Where? We'll get back to you. Why? Because it's better than doomsday, gifts are welcome, dancing and wild pagan sacrifices to follow." I looked up. Wild pagan sacrifices? You can imagine how that went over with my grandparents. I studied the invitation again. The win section shimmered. The 5 slowly faded, turning into 4. The where section also had a holographic sheen, as if it might eventually change to a specific address. "Couldn't you tell your parents this was a prank?" "Not when my father delivered it personally." "Oh." I pictured Loki sitting at the Albabas' dining table, sipping tea from one of their lovely gold cups. I imagined Jid's Santa Claus face getting redder and redder. Bibi doing her best to keep her regal pose while angry steam spewed from the edges of her hijab. Loki told them everything, Sam said. How he met my mom, how I became a Valkyrie. Everything. He told them they had no right to arrange a marriage for me because he was my dad, and he already arranged one. Jack quivered in my hand. "On the bright side," he said, "that's a very nice invitation." "Jack," I said. "Right, inanimate." "Please tell me your grandparents were not okay with that," I said. "They don't expect you to marry a giant. They don't know what to think." Sam took back the invitation. She stared at it as if hoping it would burst into flames. They had their suspicions about my mother's relationship. Like I told you, my family had been interacting with the Norse gods for generations. The gods have this attraction to my clan. Welcome to the club, I muttered. But Jid and Bibi had no idea of the extent of it until Loki showed up and sent them reeling. What hurt them most was that I'd kept my life as a Valkyrie from them. Another tear traced the base of her nose. And Amir? The video we saw on Valkyrie Vision, I guessed. He and his father came over that morning, and you tried to explain. She nodded, picking at the corner of the invitation. Mr. Fadlan doesn't understand what's going on, just that there's a disagreement of some kind. But Amir, we talked again this afternoon, and I told him the truth, all of it, and I promised I would never agree to this crazy marriage with Thrym. But I don't know if Amir could even hear me at this point. He must think I'm out of my mind. We'll figure it out, I promised. There's no way you're going to be forced to marry a giant. You don't know Loki like I do, Magnus. He can burn down my whole life. He's already started. He has ways of... She faltered. The point is, he's decided that he is the only one who can negotiate for Thor's hammer. I can't imagine what he wants out of the deal, but it can't be good. The only way to stop him is to find the hammer first. Then we'll do that, I said. We know this guy Thrym has it. Let's go get it. Or even better, just tell Thor and make him do it. Across my knees, Jack hummed and glowed. It won't be that easy, senor. Even if you could find Thrym's fortress, he wouldn't be stupid enough to keep Thor's hammer there. He wouldn't... he's an earth giant. He could have it buried literally anywhere under the earth. A Waits barrow, Sam said. In Provincetown, I said. You still think that's our best bet, even if this goat killer is stalking us, telling us it's a trap? Sam stared right through me. She seemed to be watching the horizon, imagining a mushroom cloud rising from the nuke Loki had dropped on our future. I have to try, Magnus. A Waits tomb. First thing in the morning? I hated this idea. Unfortunately, I didn't have a better one. Fine. You contacted Hearth and Blitz? They're meeting us on Cape Cod. She rose and crumpled up the wedding invitation. Before I could object that we might need it, she tossed it into the ravens and wolves. Meet you after breakfast. And bring a coat. It'll be a chilly morning to fly.